place. They told me to do that, and now they want to talk to you.
So Carrie Bradshaw was not just a little bit financially irresponsible, she was totally, utterly, and devastatingly financially irresponsible. Because, and I love to return to season 1 because season 1 is the foundation of the entire show. And yes, you can tell me, well, in the end, she's a millionaire. She's a millionaire just because she got lucky and Mr. Big decided to marry her and he died and he didn't left her. He died and he left her this huge fortune. And if we go into just like that, she keeps being financially irresponsible. But the point is that from the beginning, she was the Cosmo girl. Remember Cosmo? A lot of women of my generation grew up with the Cosmo as the Bible. It even was called the Bible. And Cosmo said, a woman that's liberated is not cooking. A woman that's liberating is not cleaning. A woman that's liberating is just sleeping around. A woman that's liberated is just buying designer stuff, doesn't matter how much it costs. Carrie did all those things. She had no food in that fridge. Whenever have you seen this woman eating if only on her dates? She's not having food at home. She's not even having a coffee machine at home. That's ridiculous. But her spending habits are wild and they are something that she cannot afford. Maybe she made good money, okay, but a designer thing should have been something that she gets as treat now and then after she saved up for it. Not every day, but she used shopping as therapy. She just went out there and need the newest shoes that were like $500 or $400, and she was like, I have to have them. No, you have to have a place to stay, so a roof over your head, you have to have rent money, you have to have food, maybe you have to have medication. You do not have to have designer shoes. But for her, this was a way to show that she made it, even though she didn't. Like, she was still struggling, if you think about it. And this episode is very clearly showing her struggle with finances and her struggle in
I seemed to encounter was bills, bills, bills. I envied Amelita. Her life was a blur of rich men, designer clothes, and glamorous resorts. She didn't actually work for a living, yet possessed a dazzling sexual power that she exploited to her full advantage, which presented a certain conundrum. Where's the line between professional girlfriend and just plain professional? Women have the right to use every means at their disposal.
We know very little of her family, but we know in general that she desperately wanted, in a way, to belong to the upper class, and she did that by spending money left and right. Like, remember that episode when she actually wanted to take the bus because she was taking taxis everywhere? She was never taking the subway. She never walked anywhere. Like, it was ridiculous. You work from home. Why can't you just make a schedule and just decide that I'm going to take the subway or I'm going to walk? No, but she was wearing like huge high heels. Well, I can walk with high heels and I can take the bus or the tram or whatever and public transportation because it moves faster than cars or cabs or whatever. So no, didn't make sense. It made no sense. Her lifestyle made no sense. She was planless, because if we go and look at this from the sprinkle point of view, Amalita was opening her door for meeting very successful men. So if she would have wanted to do the sugar baby lifestyle, this was her door to enter, or you can even call it escort in this aspect, but this was her door to enter this world with Amalita. But she didn't want it to, because she was in love with the concept of love, the same way as she was in love with the concept of high society, even though she had no idea what this high society entails at all. Like, Carrie used the money to finance her love for the idea of belonging somewhere. She wanted to enter through that door, and she believed that her designer clothes, that her reckless spending, that everything are going to open a door for her. But there was nothing for her behind that door, because she was not from the old families, she was not old money, she was just a woman writing a column about sex. Nothing bad about that. But instead of assessing where she is and understanding her position and actively trying to do something, because she was not, if you want to, Charlotte was the most sprinkle girl because, as Shira 7 says, if you want to get married to a rich man, you should dress the way the wives of rich men are dressing. And Carrie, even though she's super fashionable and I love her style because it's wild and very expensive, from the point of view of most rich men, dressed a little bit like a bag lady, as if she was dressed out of the garbage. And this is a thing that I heard from more than one man saying, well, Carrie's just dressing as if, I don't know, her closet fell on top of her. And this happens if you try to be very couture on the street. Like, go on every page that has high society ladies, even though they wear Chanel, even though they wear Yves Saint Laurent, they wear the brands, but old money is not loud. They are going to wear the little suits, they are going to wear the pastels, they are going to wear those things that are fashionable year after year after year, and people that already have this social position do not feel the need of the new rich to scream it out, to be like, look at me, I could afford this Dolce & Gabbana piece, or look at me, I could afford this or that. No, they don't care. Like, they dress maybe in the same suit for 3 or 4 or 5 seasons because they don't have to prove anything. And Carrie she wanted to belong somewhere so badly. And she made always fun of Charlotte, who actually admitted the fact that she wants to get married to a man of a certain standing. Her both husbands were very successful and very rich. Trey was rich, Harry was rich, but we're not going to talk about that. We're just talking about the fact that Carrie doesn't make her own coffee, she doesn't have groceries in her fridge, she never buys groceries, she's only eating out, she's only going to restaurants, she's only taking cabs, she's only wearing designer stuff. Like, when is this woman not wearing designer stuff? Like, after the split up with Adam, she realizes that she has $700 something in her account. Like, not even then she didn't consider, because it was already the time of eBay, hey, I could just sell my shoe collection, see what I get. Some of them were limited edition, some of them she never wore. Like, didn't make sense. Like, again, she was financially irresponsible because when Aidan moved in the first time with her, she actually threw away a bunch of designer clothes. She put them in the garbage. Like, that was a no-brainer. She could have gone to a second-hand store, to a designer second-hand store, or just do the eBay thing and just sell all those clothes and put the money aside. But she never thinks about putting money aside. She's like a butterfly. She's just from here to there. She's just the embodiment of a stereotype of a woman that was considered very attractive and very interesting and very desirable, because 2000s learned us to crave designer stuff and to crave all things that were expensive, but never to worry about money. Well, no, hell, you have to pay for that crap at some point in your life. So yeah, I love it when you see finances through movies or TV shows or whatnot, and nobody says, well, who's paying the heating bill? Who's paying the electricity? Who pays for this? Who pays for that? Things just happen, and all that matters is love. And she was not even a serious gold digger. She was a occasional gold digger. Like, she never asked Big to do anything for her, and he could have afforded it. And so why not? Because he clearly didn't care enough for her. So why not make him pay for shit because he could afford it? But no, she didn't want a rich husband. She wanted a rich husband that should be her emotional support animal. She needed the cat. I mean, in the end, she was right to get the cat. At least I hope she has money to feed the cat. So if you like it, like, comment, subscribe, share, let me know what you think. And I hope you have great holidays. Ciao, ciao.